Welcome. Today's topic is inspired by the conversation I had both yesterday with my wonderful friend who was visiting and today at the dog park with a group of people who I know to be quite brilliant. And all of us have a tendency at times to doubt our own brilliance and our own intelligence and have a moment of feeling like we are imposters. I got to take this out so I can hear myself. So that's what we're going to talk about today is imposter syndrome and feeling like we are not as beautiful and brilliant and bright and amazing as we actually are. And why do we do that to ourselves? Why? I don't know. I do know, but that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to tap about today is the crazy way we diminish our wonderful, beautiful selves. This will probably be on Patreon, so head on over there and check it out. And if you're not on Patreon already, I would love it if you joined. Not mandatory, got plenty of free videos on my website. And if you do the videos, please give me feedback. I love hearing what works, what doesn't work, what thoughts come up for you, how you feel, or thoughts that pop in when you're doing the videos. And just feedback on the process in general. That's very helpful to me. I'm quite used to doing EFT, so it's really interesting and wonderful for me to hear how other people experience it. So without further ado, we are going to take a few moments, settle in, and then start tapping on imposter syndrome and reminding ourselves of how amazing and brilliant we are. So, settle in. I would like you to think about an event, a recent event or a past event, where you have changed jobs, met a new person, done anything in your life that felt like a bit of a stretch, where you were in that space where you were thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to figure out, that I don't know what I'm doing, that I'm not as nice as I seem, that once they get to know me, they won't want to hang out with me, whatever part of that feels familiar to you, go back and try to find a memory of that particular thing happening. So I'm going to be quiet and give you just a second to locate that. And when you locate it, make it like a little 1-minute video in your mind of that particular scenario and how it felt and how you perceived yourself. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. If you need to pause the video now and find your moment, go ahead and pause the video. But for the sake of everyone else and not making this too long, we will carry on. I'm going to share the moment that popped into my mind so that we have a target. So I was a chemical dependency counselor, and I got moved into the job of intake coordinator. At this point in time in my life, I know how competent I am. At that point in time in my life, well, most of the time, at that point in time in my life, I definitely didn't. So when I look at when I look at that moment, I remember thinking, it's not going to take long before they realize I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know the questions to ask. you know, what if I screw this up? What if I hurt these kids somehow? What if I don't know how to get the insurance for them? So complete self-doubt, and I can clearly remember that. And if I stop for just a moment and say the things I just said out loud, if I feel those things, if I feel into them a little bit, that I'm going to screw up, I can't do this. I can totally feel it right here in my chest, and actually a little bit between my shoulder blades. So even though I don't think that at this very moment, I can still feel the residual energy of that time, of that huge self-doubt. So pay attention to yours. And now we are going to work together. I'm going to say what was happening for me. You say out loud the same thing that I'm saying, but keep that picture in your mind that you just created for yourself of your particular scenario. That's where we're going to go back to when we finish, to see how that scenario still feels for you. So, okay. And please do this out loud if you can. And make yourself comfortable as you're doing the tapping. So on the karate chop, even though I completely doubted myself at that point in time, I love and accept where I am at this moment. I was so excited to get that job because it felt like a move up. And in the same breath, I was terrified to get that job because I was afraid I would screw up. And at this very moment, I am honoring all of those feelings. It's so crazy how quickly we drop into self-doubt. And I did it. But in spite of that old pattern, I deeply love and accept myself anyway. Top of your head. I really was excited about that job. Eyebrow. And then I started wondering how long it would be. Side of your eye. Before I got figured out. Under your eye. Before they realized I didn't know what I was doing. Under your nose. Before I embarrassed myself. Chin. Or made some huge mistake. Collarbone. And then what? Under your arm. Everyone would know. Top of your head. It is truly crazy. Eyebrow. How much doubt hangs around. Side of your eye. My own inner wisdom. Under your eye. I completely cut myself off. Under your nose. I want to apologize to myself. Chin. Right now. Collarbone. For doubting so much. Under your arm. And for putting myself through that. Top of your head. I have done it repeatedly. Eyebrow. I forget. Side of your eye. And I revisit those old hurts. Under your eye. The old injuries. Under your nose. The old failures. Chin. Why? collarbone. Why is that where I go? Under your arm. I've done so many amazing things. Top of your head. I have stretched. Eyebrow. I have survived so much crazy. Side of your eye. I really want that to be my new normal. Under your eye. That I honor myself. Under your nose. That I honor what I've survived. Chin. And that I remember that I am amazing. Collarbone. And that I don't have to be perfect. Under your arm. I did that job. Top of your head. And I did it well. Eyebrow. But I almost screwed myself right up. Side of your eye. Because I expected myself to know everything. Under your eye. To already be perfect. Under your nose. In a new job. Chin. That I'd never done. Collarbone. That's why we have training. Under your arm. That's why we go to school. Top of your head. That's why we have mentors and friends. Eyebrow. So that we can grow. Side of your eye. Learn. Under your eye. Make mistakes. Under your nose. And allow ourselves, chin, to expand. Collarbone. In a loving way. Under your arm, which I forget. Top of your head. Way too frequently. So much easier. Side of your eye. Or so much more of a pattern anyway. Under your eye. To go to the negative. Under your nose. And that's a relearning right there. Chin. I am relearning. Collarbone. How can I possibly be an imposter? Under your arm. Because I am me. Top of your head. The only time I should feel that way, eyebrow, is if I'm not living in integrity. Side of your eye. And that has nothing to do with how much I know. Under your eye. That has everything to do with who I am. Under your nose. And I definitely loved those kids, chin, and did everything I could for them. Collarbone. And that is what matters. Under your arm. What matters is that I remembered, top of your head, to show up, eyebrow, and to come from a place of love, side of your eye, helping, under your eye, and wanting to learn everything I could, under your nose, so I could do the best job possible, chin, for those kids, collarbone, because I could see how they needed help, under your arm, and how they needed someone to advocate for them, top of your head. You can learn how to code insurance, eyebrow, and which questions to ask, side of your eye, and how to properly pair them with the right program, under your eye. But coming from a place of love, under your nose, being in alignment, chin, with my heart, collarbone, that is the core, under your arm. It's why I do something. Top of your head. Not how. Eyebrow. That makes me real. Side of your eye. I can learn the how. Under your eye. I can learn the what. Under your nose. But being me, chin, being real, collarbone, and being of service and doing what's important to me, that is the thing. Under your arm, that's what's important. Top of your head. And that I did do. Eyebrow. Yet another case, side of your eye, of those crazy childhood messages. Under your eye. The I'm not enough. Under your nose. Not good enough. Chin. All those old messages. Collarbone. That I choose to turn around. Under your arm. I do know, top of your head, that that is not the truth. Eyebrow. And that the people who said that to me, side of your eye, were doing the best they could. Under your eye. And now I am too. Under your nose. And the best I can do right now, chin, is to come from love. Collarbone. I'm never, ever an imposter. Under your arm when I'm coming from love. Deep breath. And just relax for a moment. And go back to your memory, your situation. And notice what you notice now when you check back in with that same situation, that same memory. Notice any emotions and anything that might be going on in your body when you replay that exact same memory for yourself right now. For myself, when I see that same situation where I'm sitting down in my new desk, in my new office, at this point, I do not have any tightness right here or in the back. And the emotion that I have right now is compassion for myself and pride that I was willing to do something completely different that I felt was really important. So I hope that you are feeling an improvement, a love for yourself right now. And if you are noticing any language, any negative self-talk, I encourage you to write that down and tap on whatever those messages are that you are continuing to give yourself so that you can come to a place of honoring and loving your inner knowing and remembering that your why, the love that you bring to something, the passion and intention that you bring to whatever you do, whatever situation you are moving into, is so incredibly valuable and so incredibly you. And that you are most certainly not an imposter when you are allowing yourself to be that embodiment, that amazingness. Yep, that's what I'm thinking. So if you want to share, I would love to hear anything that you have to share. This community and the people who come together and support each other are so amazing. And it feeds each of us when we share with each other and show ourselves, our amazing, beautiful, pained, traumatized, recovering, just who we are. We are all freaking miracles. So share yourself. It's so important. It really is. Kind of speaks to that imposter syndrome thing, doesn't it? You're important. Your experiences are important. Your failures are important. Your learnings, your growth, everything that you do is amazing. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out and tapping along, and anything that you share and any feedback you give. I appreciate it from my heart. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and hopefully I will see you soon.